Progress over perfection is a philosophy that reshapes the way we live, create, and pursue meaning. It's not just a motivational principle. It's a mindset that liberates us from the invisible prison of self-judgment. Perfection demands certainty before action, but progress demands courage in the face of uncertainty. When you live for progress, you learn to embrace mistakes as milestones rather than as evidence of inadequacy. You stop fearing failure and begin seeing it as feedback, a message that guides you toward better decisions, deeper insight, and greater strength. Tony Robbins teaches that all growth begins at the edge of comfort. The perfectionist seeks comfort in control, but the person committed to progress thrives in growth because they know that motion creates mastery. You cannot refine what does not exist. You cannot perfect what you have not begun. So progress becomes a sacred act, a decision to move, even when the outcome is unclear, trusting that every step forward has value. When you hold yourself to the standard of perfection, you create impossible expectations that guarantee disappointment. It's a mental trap, a loop of never enough. Perfectionism convinces you that success lies in flawless execution, but true success lies in relentless iteration. It's not the person who gets it right the first time who wins. It's the one who keeps improving until it's right. Look at nature. Nothing in nature is perfect, yet everything grows, adapts, and thrives. Trees bend in the wind. Rivers change their course. Seasons shift, sometimes violently. But in that imperfection lies resilience. Human beings are the same. Progress is natural, perfection is artificial. The moment you release the need to be perfect, you free your energy for creativity, learning, and expansion. You stop measuring your worth by outcomes and start valuing your commitment to growth. The perfectionist waits for ideal circumstances. The person of progress creates them through consistent effort. And it's that consistency, not flawlessness, that builds character, skill, and confidence. Progress also transforms the way you view time. Perfectionism lives in the future, in the endless someday, when you'll finally be good enough, ready enough, or have enough. Progress lives in the present, in the act of doing, adjusting, and improving right now. Tony Robbins often says that success is buried in your daily habits. It's the small, often invisible actions that compound over time into extraordinary results. When you chase perfection, you delay action. When you pursue progress, you create momentum. And momentum is the secret engine of transformation. Once you begin moving, clarity follows. Once you take one step, the next becomes easier. You learn faster through doing than you ever will through thinking. Progress invites you into a rhythm of action, reflection, and adaptation. You begin to trust the process rather than trying to control it. You start to see life as a dance between effort and evolution, and this shift brings both peace and power. Progress gives meaning to every mistake because each error becomes evidence of your evolution. The deepest reason progress matters more than perfection is emotional freedom. Perfection keeps you tied to the approval of others, always comparing, always performing, always fearing judgment. Progress, however, connects you with authenticity. It allows you to fail publicly, to grow openly, to live honestly. It teaches humility, patience, and persistence, virtues that perfection can never offer. When you value progress, you stop chasing validation and start building transformation. You realize that your worth was never dependent on flawlessness. It was always in your willingness to learn. You begin to celebrate how far you've come instead of criticizing how far you have to go. That mindset shift changes everything. Your energy, your confidence, your results. It removes the pressure to be perfect and replaces it with the power to evolve. Tony Robbins says that fulfillment doesn't come from achieving a goal. It comes from who you become while pursuing it. Progress is that becoming. It's the sculpting of your identity through experience, struggle, and effort. It's the process of becoming more aware, more capable, and more alive. Ultimately, progress over perfection is an invitation to live courageously, to take messy action, to risk mistakes, and to trust that growth will come through movement. It's the difference between waiting for life to happen and creating your life through intention. Perfection seeks to preserve an image. Progress seeks to build a legacy. When you live for perfection, you remain stuck in fear. When you live for progress, you step into freedom. You learn that your best today may not be your best tomorrow, but that's the point. Evolution never ends. Each day you act, you plant seeds that your future self will thank you for. Each risk you take, each lesson you learn, expands your horizon of what's possible. Progress transforms your story from one of waiting into one of becoming. It gives meaning to the struggle and purpose to the journey. And in the end, that's what fulfillment truly is. Not a flawless life, but a meaningful one. Not a perfect path, but a path that keeps moving forward, step by imperfect step, toward the best version of yourself.